Hey friends, I am joined here today by Mr. Victor Brown. Vic, can we call you Vic? I'm going to call him Vic for the rest of the video. And we are going to talk about a truly exceptional house. 4996 Nantucket. This house is not just a house that's big, this is truly a luxury home. Vic and I are going to talk about what makes this a luxury home, and this is what I want you to think about. Luxury living is a life that has lower maintenance, lower stress, and you just get to enjoy a high quality of living. Vic is going to explain several of the systems inside of the house, the very thoughtful design about this house, and kind of paint a picture for your ideal life lived in 4996 Nantucket. So Vic, that ideal living starts with the outside of the house, right? It starts in the ground, we know that, like the house was dug out, it starts in the ground, and you've done several different things to make sure that this house isn't going to move and adjust. The basement is going to be bone dry for as long as the house is still standing. But can you tell us a little bit about the first thing that you see when you come up to the house? Tell us about the siding, why you went with cement board, which is less common than vinyl siding. Why'd you go with that?
It's a little bit more expensive, far more durable, quieter, and it just provides a better durable product for the customer.
Excellent. So as a lawn service company zips through and kicks rocks at the house, they're not going to have to fix cracks in the siding or replace sections of siding as often.
Much harder to break.
Okay.
Much harder to break. Little rocks will go through the vinyl siding, especially in the colder weather.
Yeah.
The cement board holds up much better.
Yeah. Tell us about you can also paint cement board. It's not just cement colored, but instead it's paintable and it's not going to come off, right? You used different paint for that also.
Well, this is a factory applied paint before it comes to the job site. Then we put it up and then we put a final coat on to cover up the nails and other things that we do during construction.
Yeah.
We paint the ends of the boards as we cut them and put them up. So that there's no raw ends to absorb moisture. Moisture won't pass through the cement board like it does wood, so it won't peel the paint off from the outside of the siding.
Yeah, so you won't have to paint it every 10 years, right? This is lifetime paint?
Yeah, 20 years.
And the same thing with the shingles, high quality, 30-year architectural shingles.
Yes,
you won't have to replace them, you won't have to touch them. Do you want to talk about the windows at all?
Sure. They're Andersen 400 windows.
Okay. What does that mean for the consumer?
To me, Andersen's been around for a long time and they haven't made a lot of changes in the way they do things.
Okay.
For instance, if I have a 30-year-old Andersen window, I can still buy parts for it.
Awesome.
That's important to me. Andersen's keeping up with everybody else as far as the energy efficiency of their windows, and they're a solid company that we can rely on in the future for maintenance and service.
Yeah, I think that's important too. Let's talk about, because you mentioned replacing parts. When I think luxury, I think you're going to have a Viking fridge that is, exceptional and gigantic. It's going to take up a massive amount of space in the kitchen. So this house does not have Viking appliances. Instead, they're KitchenAid, and they're high quality still, right?
Yes.
So
the maintenance people around that can work on them are more readily available, especially in the country, which is where we are. It's not like we're in the city of New York or Chicago where there's many people around that can work on Vikings and other things.
So you're able to find parts more quickly because we have consumer grade, high quality appliances, and that stretches throughout the entire kitchen. So can you tell us a little bit about the stove? It's special, right? It's not your typical range that's 36 inches wide, has 4 burners on the top.
Well, it is a smart stove. In other words, you can control the temperatures and stuff from your phone and read the temperatures of your product that's in the oven from your phone.
Yeah, and it has a probe that plugs into the wall that you can sink into a turkey or a rack of ribs or something like that tells you, hey, it's ready, and you can shut off the heat from work and have hot food for you when you get home. Now, when I think, and I think most people are like this, when I think luxury, I think granite countertops. But this house doesn't have granite countertops, and that's for a specific reason. Again, thinking luxury as a lifestyle, you installed quartz countertops. Tell us about why and how that changes things.
Well, quartz countertops don't need to be sealed.
Okay.
They're basically a man-made granite. So the colors that you see here are the same colors that the homeowner saw in the store when they picked their products. Where when you buy granite, you may get a different stone. The rock will be a little different.
Right.
These are pretty stable colors.
Okay.
In other words, when you see a color in the store, it's the color that you're going to get.
Perfect. So for this, you also don't have to seal it. What's the maintenance like on granite? How does that happen?
It requires a sealer so that liquids don't penetrate into the soft veins of the product.
So you have, with quartz countertops, you have worry-free solid surface, gorgeous, predictable countertops.
Absolutely.
I love that. That's awesome. Talk to us about the cabinets that you chose and how that changes how you live inside of a kitchen.
Well, these are all soft close cabinets. The doors are soft close, the drawers are soft close, so they won't be slamming and breaking off the drawer heads.
Sure.
They'll pretty much close themselves.
Yeah.
We have all dovetail drawers in these cabinets.
Nice. Yeah.
And there's roll-out trays in the pantry.
Talk to us about, this is something that carries us through the kitchen and then is also true in the bathrooms and in the laundry room. Talk to us about the quality of air, the unseen factor that changes how we live inside of a house.
We don't have bathroom vent fans in our houses because we build to an airtight standard and mechanically ventilate constantly.
Okay.
So we're continually taking air out of the bathrooms, laundry rooms, and kitchens and running that through a heat exchanger, which extracts energy, be it hot or cold. So we're continuously replenishing the air in the house once every 3 hours.
But you're not going to go into a bathroom and see and hear a loud vent fan running.
No,
ever.
they're quiet.
They're all quiet. So even though they're continuously running, you don't have mass amount of fan noise
You
anywhere
can't hear
in
it.
the house.
You can't hear it. There's one in the kitchen here, and you can't hear it.
So talk to us about the quality of product, both for the shower and obviously, like you said, the air handling is different.
The fog up is handled through the air exchange.
Yeah.
The water on the floor of this particular house has a 3/8 glass hydroslide door, which is similar to a barn door. So it slides past the other panel of glass. In that manner, we don't have a pivot door that has to pivot both ways. So there's a little lip on the bottom of the door frame that keeps the water from flowing out.
Yeah, so you can control how much water is leaving the shower. If you towel off inside the shower, you're not getting any water through your bathroom. And which is great because you don't slip and fall, but it also, does it help preserve the quality of the tile, the grout, keeps it a little cleaner because it's not getting wet constantly?
Well, anytime you can keep your house dry, it'll last longer.
Yeah. And then in the master bathroom, we have a separate room specifically for the toilet.
Commode room, yes.
Yeah. Talk to us about that because you also take the air out of there too, right?
Yes, that's got its own air exchanger as well. It's basically designed in the house for privacy. We have a big open bathroom where 2 people can use it, and if one person wants a little privacy in the commode room, they can close the door and be by themselves.
And the stink from the commode room is going to it'll stay there and be sucked out through the air exchanger.
Exactly.
Okay, so this house also, so it has the separate toilet room, it has the air exchanging, but that's not the only thing that was well planned, right? The entire house was designed and well planned throughout, from the trim on the doors to how much room is designed for the living space and the bedrooms. It's the ideal amount of space. And that's, you just don't happen upon excellence, right? You have to plan it.
Exactly.
Every step of the way.
Exactly. You need to know what your trim is and the makeup of the trim to make sure that your light switches are not intersecting with the trim. Also your hallways where they're narrow, and we have headers in this house. Those headers and the crown on the headers, you don't want that crashing into both sides of the hallway. So the hallway needs to be the right width, and it needs to be centered so that everything matches up.
Perfect. Yeah, and you've done that. So nearly every door in the house, every window in the house is framed centered on the wall.
If it's not centered, it was done that way for a reason.
Okay. So the whole house is really well planned. The final piece, and I think we can end with this, the final piece that really completes the feel of the house and allows it to be lower maintenance, higher quality of life house is the flooring. The whole main level living space, the bedrooms have carpet, which is really comfortable. I prefer carpets in a bedroom all day. It's quieter, it's warmer, it's just comfortable. But the entire flooring through here is engineered hardwood.
Well, the reason we used engineered hardwood here is so that we could have the wide planks and they won't cup and warp on us. They have no natural grain in them to cause them to change their shape. Right. The hardwood floor is made, the engineered is mainly made with plywood base and a veneer over the top. Yeah. So we can use these wider planks. They don't open up and crack and make noise and cup.
Yeah, so when I'm walking through the house, it's not gonna squeak on me.
No.
I'm not gonna snag the bottom of my sock isn't gonna snag a corner of a board and rip or anything like that. And it means that I don't have to replace my flooring as often.
Correct.
Yep. Is there anything else that you feel like we need to highlight that would change the quality of life for the consumer that would be important for them to understand? Something that they may see as soon as they come into the house, or something that could be completely invisible unless we explain it to them?
There's a lot of invisible things here. The way we build a house, to be certain that we keep the house dry without being too dry. Okay. We don't want static shocks, but we don't want the humidity to get too high either, because then we have interior glues and formaldehydes and stuff that leach out of the products. Okay. So we want to keep the house under 50% relative humidity, with no drafts and comfort.
And you've done all of that. The whole house system is working so that it has the ideal amount of humidity as often as possible.
The house is built using a systems approach to where all the systems work together, not just a fancy furnace, and that's going to make my house comfortable and easy to heat.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm hoping that one day I could pivot my family to a luxury house. Something like this, and because I deal in houses every day, I have a little bit of an understanding of what that looks like, but not everybody does. If you, who's watching this, have any desire to move into a luxury house, this is an incredible house for you. If this house doesn't fit because you have 17 children and you want 17 bedrooms, Vic is an incredible builder. He, like he said, builds a house with a systems approach, meaning that every part and component inside of the house was pre-planned to be there so that the house has a higher energy efficiency, you have lower utility bills, but you also have lower maintenance because your drywall isn't going to crack as it settles because of the way they've laid the foundation. And because the heat is constant, the drywall isn't adjusting temperature, it isn't adjusting humidity, and those are the things that make drywall crack.
The house isn't moving due to moisture passing through the system.
So if you are in the zone where you need to consider building a house, Vic Brown with Michigan Valley Homes is your ideal builder. He is the highest quality builder. Can I say in Jackson County, is that okay? Am I going to insult somebody?
I don't think so.
Can I say in Michigan? Is that okay?
I think we build the best houses around. Come look at them.
Okay, deal. If you want to check out one for a sampling, 4996 Nantucket is listed now with my smart team. We look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks so much, Vic, for a really great conversation. I appreciate it.
Thank you.